posters around town, and it's on the website and everything, what people should look for signs of their water might be freezing, and that one of them is the temperature, and one of them is a shot of rust that comes out, and then telling them to run there. But it's up to them to decide, do you wanna spend a little bit more on running some water, or do you wanna take the chance, and if you have to, spend someone to come and fix it, you know? So, the homeowners have to decide what they wanna do to be proactive to help themselves too. So, we've tried to get the word out there of what people can do.
Well,
Once it's frozen.
other cities now that have gotten to that point where they're freezing, a lot of them freezing up, they're supplying the water, just let it drip, to keep them lines open. And if that temperature gets down to 36, 35, 36 degrees, and if people are watching that temperature real good, we as a city maybe should step forward and pay for that extra water. Because that's a benefit to the city too, not having it, it's freezing out in the streets. That's where it's freezing. There's enough snow inside it, it's got a cushion real good.
Is that where yours is frozen? Is that where yours is frozen?
Yep.
Where yours is frozen? In
Yeah,
the street?
your plumber or your Copeland or what's his
Copeland.
name? Yeah, he says it's you guys, your main comes in and you come off it like this for backflow reasons, and that's where it's freezing is in that upper loop.
The gooseneck.
That gooseneck, yes sir, that's what you'd call it.
Is that in the street?
Yep, right above your main.
Are we gonna credit these people who's, I definitely wanna credit the people whose pipes are frozen and they've gone through the expense to reopen it, but now we want them to keep it open. And they're running their water, I want them to, I think we can agree they should get credit for that, all right?
I agree.
I agree on that, but I also think that we could prevent a lot of this. If that temperature, water temperature gets down to 35, we better let them start letting some run. And then we ought to step forward as a city and pay for that extra water.
How do you know how much is extra?
A day, it'd be about 2,000 gallons a day to let it run. Maybe not quite, 1,800 I guess. How much?
Dorothy, you said you're running what?
We're running a
gallon
gallon a minute.
A minute.
And we are also recommended by the plumber that we have to run hot water twice a day, a large amount of hot water twice a day through the sewer, so we don't freeze your sewer system up because of all that cold water going through the sewer system. Because they said they've had trouble with that in Winona, that they told these people to turn it on a pencil width,
How many gallons you come up with?
you know, and they're freezing the sewers, so now we have to heat water and run through that much more water. But
What do
we've
you-
been doing
what do you
things like
recommend, Steve?
baths and things like that, and dishwasher, to try and help with that.
What has our engineer said?
It's the same thing that you know that everybody's doing. If you think your pipes are going to freeze, you should run water. You know, I think that we should. Folks need to let us know that they're running water, and we should figure out a way to do a credit. I don't think you can just arbitrarily say someone's using extra 1,800 gallons. I think you have to do some sort of an estimate.
You should be able to.
And give them a credit.
Average what the last 3 months were.
Except you have to realize that's all gonna have to be done manually by one person in this office. And you're gonna have people that are gonna be upset thinking that they deserve a credit, and some, you know, this is not gonna be very smooth, but, you know, we should figure out a way to do a credit.
Go ahead, Dorothy.
My husband and I talked about it, and we said, even if, worst case scenario, if you would give us time to pay for the water that we have to overuse, that would help. You know, instead of having to try and come up with $400 every month extra that we don't have. You know, that would even help.
You'll for sure get that, but we ought to be able to figure out how much extra you're using. It's just, if we say it's 1,000 gallons and you're saying it's 1,200, you know, that's where there's gonna be, you know, some discussions
Yeah.
back and forth about it. We'll be as fair as we can, but we can tell, we knew your son was having a problem because it came up on the computer. And it said he went through 11,000 gallons of water in one day. Called him up and said, you got a problem. And we could tell at 8:40 or whatever it was, they got shut off. So our system will tell us that kind of thing. We ought to be able to, we can figure it out. It's just when you're trying to go back and say, what was the use in January, and what was the use in December, and try to average that out, come to a number, and try to make it as fair as we can.
See, what I'm saying is that people should maybe buy a thermometer and run that water in a sink and see where that temperature is. If it's down to 35, you better start running your water, because this frost is going down, down, down. Warms up, it's gonna go down further. And we're gonna have broken pipes in the street. We're gonna have broken mains.
We might.
We might.
A lot of other cities have. We had one earlier.
And that,
We've already had one this year.
Well, I think the point of it, and I agree with you, that, you know, if somebody thinks that they need to, call in, put your name on a list. We're all in this together. It's, every town around us got the same issues.
yep.
You know, it's gonna cost the city something, it's already cost you guys something, and it's just no fun, but.
We're all the city, so.
Right,
you know,
we're all in this together.
People say the city's gonna pay the extra $400. It's all of us paying the extra $400.
Yeah, I understand
That's
that.
how it works. So we'll, you know,
But
hopefully
I do
people
believe
will.
that if the frost keeps going down, it's gonna be a whole lot better to dig up a little money on for the extra water than to repair all these breaks. Because wasn't it Rochester just had a break today?
I haven't heard anything.
Did you see the news tonight?
Yeah, Rochester.
Yeah.
But some cities are telling their customers to everybody turn their water on. I don't think that's necessary. I think you gotta be smart about it, you gotta monitor your own water.
I think so too.
Go ahead.
It happens very quickly.
Yep.
I had been using water last Tuesday night, finishing up dishes and putting fresh water down for my kitty, and then I came to fill the humidifier, and there was nothing. It was really, there wasn't maybe an hour in between. That's all it was. And I never thought we would have a problem because we've got snow, you know. But it is where the snow has been removed and the street and the sidewalk.
And I think on Rochester today, it said it was down 5.8, 5'8"
Was it 54 inches or something?
54.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which is lower than they've ever seen it.
Yep. We're not the only ones, but that doesn't satisfy the customers, paying customers for water. And that doesn't prevent us from having any of our sewer lines froze up, water lines froze up. I think we're in for big trouble, a lot of it. One thing to do, maybe, but I wouldn't mind saying is that if it snows only a couple inches, just leave the snow on the street.
That won't,
Don't plow it.
I don't think that'll do any good once it's packed down.
No,
Couple inches isn't very
it's
good.
gone.
Just-
There's a little padding there.
Go ahead.
One thing I don't understand is Boxland could not get the steam line past a certain point. Apparently he had trouble, this place too had to get
Yes, we
over a
have.
hump or something. And so I don't know if this is a design, you know, that's preventing us from getting to the ice. Boxland never